Alright, good morning, good morning, good morning po sa inyong lahat mga kababayan. Batang Manila Toys, pag-usapan natin etong bago na namang aligasyon laban dito kay Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy. Ito mga kababayan, papakita ko sa inyo sa ating screen. Ayan. Apart from allegations of human trafficking, maliban doon sa mga aligasyon ng human trafficking, sexual abuses, dito kay televangelist Apollo Kibuloy, nako, eto meron pa. Siya raw ay accountable sa mga accusations na ang ginagawa niya, he had forcibly taken. Sapilitan mga kababayan, forcibly, sapilitan. Forcibly taken the salaries of overseas Filipino workers. Eto raw mga sweldo ng mga OFWs, sapilitan niyang kinukuha bilang donasyons para sa kanya at sa kanyang religious group na Kingdom of Jesus Christ, KOJC. Ayon po yan kay Senator Risa Hontiveros. Kaya naman ito si Hontiveros ay nanawagan sa kanyang mga kasamahan dyan sa Senado na pakinggan etong mga mas marami pang istorya ng mga witnesses, mga alleged victims of Kibuloy. Sabi ni Hontiveros, more and more victim survivors have reached out to my office to share the horrific abuses they experience as member of KOJC. Ayan mga kababayan. Kaya naman siya nananawagan sa kanyang mga colleagues dyan sa Senado to actually listen to these victim survivors. Ayon kay Hontiveros na Chair of the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality, which has been conducting an investigation of alleged abuses committed by Kibuloy. Ayon kay Hontiveros, siya ay naniniwala na kapag narinig nila etong mga experiences ng mga former members ni Kibuloy, hindi sila magdadalawang isip na tumayo para sa hustisya. Sa huling hearing, etong si Senator Hontiveros ay pinisinta si Reynita Fernandez, isang OFW galing sa Singapore, na sinabi na siya at ilang mga domestic workers dyan ay pinressure at hinaras ni Kibuloy at sila'y napilitang ibigay ang 90% of their salaries dito sa leader ng KOJC. Maraming OFWs ang nagtatrabaho umaga-gabi at itong kanilang hard-earned salaries, instead of going to their families, went to Kibuloy. And they were not only deprived of their salaries, they were even asked to sell things just so they can be able to remit money not to their families but to the kingdom. We call our OFWs our modern day heroes, yet we are failing to protect them from fraudsters like Kibuloy. I hope the Senate will be united in giving our fellow Filipinos justice. Ayan mga kababayan, yung panibago na namang akusasyon laban kay Kibuloy. So ang ginagawa pala nito, nanghihingi ng tithes. Nanghihingi siya ng tithes. Ito yung mga kababayan, yung mga kusang loob, dapat kusang loob ito, hindi ito pinipilit, yung mga tithes. Nasa Biblia naman po yan, pero ito matindi mga kababayan. Ito matindi. Itong hinihingi ni Kibuloy at pinipilit, pressured, talagang hinaharas, kinukuha niya mula dito sa OFWs ay 90%. Grabe, 90%. Sa Biblia mga kababayan, ang alam ko 10% lang. At ito'y dapat bukal sa kalooban mo, hindi yung pinipilit. Pero ginagawa daw ni Kibuloy, ayon nga kay Senator Hontiveros, sapilitan at talagang haharasin ka para kunin yung 90% ng iyong sahod para maibigay sa kanya at dito sa Kingdom of Jesus Christ kuno. Matindi. Yan mga kababayan. Etong pamamalakad sa kanyang simbahan kuno, etong Kingdom of Jesus Christ ni Pacquiao mga kababayan, ni Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy. Ito, pakinggan natin yung ilan sa mga witnesses. Ayan mga kababayan, panoorin natin. Papakita ko sa inyo yung ilan sa mga witnesses na lumabas para witness laban dito kay Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy. Ito, pakinggan natin.
And then when Pastor Kibalot called me, like he was asking me if I will become a pastoral, and he said that you must sacrifice everything, including your body.
How long were you a pastoral, and how long were you being used by Pastor Quiboloy?
If it's from 2013, and then I left 2021, so it's like 8 years, I think.
And during that whole period, you were being used by Quiboloy?
Yes, all of us. You don't even think that others are like that also, because they're saying like don't tell anybody, and the other one, they have to be like every week, like night. It's called night duty.
Okay.
Like us, we've been there every week. We have to go. There's like schedule for every girl that you have to be there. Every time I go there, I was like praying that he will be just sleeping and not touching me. One time at night, he came to me to my room to have a and I was crying. I said that I don't want. And he got mad at me. He said like, you're going to hell because of that.
At first, our relationship was very good, very warm, very friendly. I didn't feel everything like, oh, he's like liking me. No, there's nothing about that. And transfer me in one room. I live with the Jack Roy. She's pastoral in one of the closest, like she's very close to pastor. And I live with her in one room. And little by little, some girls like Jack Roy and other girls of pastorals are Filipino. They used to fellowship to me like, are you ready to sacrifice everything to God, to the Father, like pastor? Of course, I already sacrificed. I leave my job, I leave my school, I leave my friends and my parents. I already sacrificed a lot of, so what do you mean? I cannot understand, because I already sacrificed and with the life that I choose in the night. And she said, I want you to massage pastor's feet before he sleep, even though I was nervous. And she saw that I'm crying, but I'm still do what they want me to do. I was scary and I was crying, and pastor was waiting for me till he realized that I'm not coming, and he by myself went out and pulled me in his room. And I was like scary, and he said like, massage my feet here, 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 and then little by little, and I was very nervous. And after that, little by little, he just turned to me and he removed my clothes.
And he said like, oh, your birthday is coming, right? I said, yes. And you already asked me a few times about it. And pastor, like, he asked, what do you want for your birthday? And I said, I didn't want anything, just we can even not celebrate it. We went to the gym, so the door will be closed. And he kissed me at the lips. I was like shocked, and I didn't know what to do. You know, I started to worry. My hands started shaking. I didn't cry. I didn't run. I didn't do anything. And he just smiled and go to his dressing room. She just fellowshiped with me that I have to do that if I want to be a truly daughter of the Father. I came to Atepani's room and I said that I'm ready. And she told me that I need to prepare myself. So for this, you need to have a pajamas and you have to like be shaved and everything should be clean. I was okay. So I go back to my room. I take a shower. I prepare like myself for this one. And she said, okay, wait in my room. And her room, you know, it was like special one. She had a door right away to pastor's room. I wait for her in the room. So I go to pastor's room and we sit on his bed together. He asked me, what did Atepani told me? And I told, okay, pastor, she told me this one. So pastor said, okay, if like it's that way. And at that night, yeah, we had sex. He woke up me early and he told me that I need to cross again to Atepani's room and go to my room, so no one will like see me before we had the morning prayer. I cried and I go back to my room. I stayed there.
Gising na si Quiboloy nito, tapos sinabihan niya ako na umupo daw sa gitna ng kama. Sumunod lang ako sa instruction, umupo ako na naka-cross legs. Nung itutuloy ko na dapat ang pagmamasahe, tumayo siya at umupo sa harap ko. Sinimulan niyang tanggalin ang butones ng t-shirt ko hanggang sa tuluyan niya tinanggal ang buong t-shirt ko. Sabi niya, tumalikod daw ako. Sumunod lang ako doon at tinanggal niya ang aking bra. Pagkatapos hinawakan niyang balikat ko at hinila pahiga sa kama. Kinikis-kis niya ang ari niya sa ari ko. Sinimulan niyang halikan ng leeg ko, nanigas na ako ng husto. Gusto kong sumigaw ng tulong at tanungin kung ano ang ginagawa niya. Pero naalala ko na bawal akong mag-question. Pinipigilan ko na lang ang mga luha ko dahil sobra akong nagulat at walang magawa. Pagkatapos ay tuluyan na akong pinagsamantala ni Apollo Kibuloy nung siya ay natapos na. Pumunta siya sa CR. Tulala pa rin ako, nakatitig lang sa kisame. At dito nagsimula na akong umiyak.
Okay, so yan mga kababayan yung statement ng mga witnesses. Pinresenta nila yung kanilang mga experience, naranasan dito kay self-confessed appointed son of God na si Kibuloy. At grabe yung mga ginawa pala ni Kibuloy sa kanila. So yun mga kababayan, ito yung dapat marinig ng ilan sa ating mga kababayan. Sabi nga ni Senator Risa Hontiveros, dapat marinig ito sa Senado para naman, kasi kapag narinig nyo yan, sigurado ay kayo ay maninindigan para sa hustisya, para sa katarungan. At hindi nyo pagtatakpan etong taong ito na talagang matindi mga kababayan. Kagabi pinag-usapan natin yung kanyang mga kondisyones. So, dahil dito sa mga narinig natin, sana mabigyan ng hustisya at mapaharap si Kibuloy at ipaliwanag yung kanyang sarili kung wala naman siya kasalanan, ba siya matatakot. Diba? So, yan lang mga kababayan. Update natin. May panibago na ng mga akusasyon. Ang ginawa nito ay ni Kibuloy ay sa pilitang kinukuha yung kanilang sahod at kinukuha hindi lang 10% na biblical, kundi 90% ang kinukuha niyang as tithes and offerings daw galing dyan sa kanya mga OFWs na mga miyembro. Alright, so yun lang muna mga kababayan. Tutok-tutok lang dito sa Batang Maynila to. Sa iba pang updates, ingat po tayong lahat. God bless po. God bless.